Can Elon Musk 42,000 satellites destroy Earth? Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. In any event, we'll keep you informed about Tesla. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments area. SpaceX deploys 53 Starlink broadband satellites and lands a rocket in a cloudy sky. Why does Elon Musk plan to launch 42,000 of these satellites into orbit? Then what is the role of Elon Musk? Can Elon Musk 42,000 satellites destroy Earth? The launch attempt comes only 24 hours after SpaceX was forced to postpone its launch due to bad weather at Cape Canaveral. The launch location was shrouded in thick fog as the sun rose on Saturday morning, but it gradually evaporated as the day progressed. The rocket was hardly visible on the launch pad, but as it jumped off the pad and into the sky, it was perfectly apparent against the azure skies. This raised a number of questions in our mind. To be aware of the fact, please take the time to view the whole video. So let's talk about why. Greetings everyone! 16 satellites racing across the sky, and in the next decades, Elon Musk plans to launch 42,000 of these satellites into orbit. There will be 15 times as many functioning satellites in orbit as there are now. It's part of Starlink, Musk and SpaceX's pricey constellation that aims to offer low-latency, high-speed internet to the planet, promising no more buffering and practically instantaneous internet in every corner of the globe. However, scientists are concerned that it would come at a high cost to space research. Almost half of the world's population does not have unlimited internet access because most internet alternatives need a lengthy network of expensive underground connections. Many rural areas are left without access, while satellite internet is available in such places. Dave Mosher, a senior space journalist, said, "A bus-sized spacecraft is launched 22,236 miles into space, into orbit around the globe to supply traditional satellite internet. Because of the distance, satellites may reach regions where cables cannot. However, since that one satellite is designed to serve a large number of people, its data capacity is restricted, limiting connection speed, and the signals must travel a vast distance, resulting in many delays. This is where SpaceX and Elon Musk come in. Starlink is a globe-encircling network of internet beaming satellites that are attempting to connect you to the internet no matter where you are in the world," Mosher said. There's also a persuasion factor in the case of SpaceX. Elon Musk has said that he is attempting to capture a little portion of the global telecoms business, which is worth $1 trillion every year. Musk and SpaceX CEO Gwynne Shotwell said that such a sum of money could cover the construction of Starlink, Starship, and SpaceX Mars launch infrastructure on its own. SpaceX launched more than 700 satellites into orbit in early October, with a goal of releasing 12,000 over the following 5 years, half of which will be launched by the end of 2024. Musk intends to add another 30,000 satellites to the mix, bringing the total number of satellites orbiting the Earth to 42,000. All of these satellites, which will be in low Earth orbit between 200 and 400 miles above the globe, will be big losers. This, according to Mosher, lowers the connection latency experienced by standard internet satellites. The issue is that you have a lot of satellites in orbit to compensate for the fact that you can't remain in one place above the planet because there are several satellites above at any one moment to cover a large number of consumers. These Starlink satellites will be continually moving once in orbit, which is why so many are required. Every satellite will communicate with many others through laser beams, forming a network backbone. And yes, you should bring the internet into your house. You'll need a large antenna, the size of a pizza. This phased array antenna can point its beam towards whichever satellite or satellites are above, ensuring that an internet connection is maintained in your house. This plan, however, is not without flaws. The Starlink satellites are very visible. They reflect sunlight and reflect it back to Earth, giving them the appearance of dazzling moving stars. As appealing as it may seem, it is not without flaws. Starlink satellites are best visible in the night sky just before dawn and just after sunset when astronomers are looking for asteroids or near-Earth objects that may collide with the Earth and cause disaster. As more satellites are launched, the chance of their interfering with astronomers' observations increases. If Starlink remains an issue for these sorts of sky surveys, we may not have as much time as we'd want to discover a near-Earth object and stop it from colliding with Earth. The wall of satellites satellites might hinder the hunt for new planets or even black holes, in addition to identifying hazardous asteroids. Mosher, SpaceX knew it needed to act, and it did so. It developed a DarkSat, which is a satellite with all of its shining elements covered in an extremely dark, gloomy substance. It also attempted to include visors to protect these shining sections from the ground. However, unless these satellites are veiled, like a Star Trek starship, none of this, even technology that does not exist, will totally fix the issue. Even if they did, there is a far larger problem at hand. Mosher, there's a fear about space debris because there's a bigger risk that satellites may crash with one another or with other satellites when there are so many in the tightest, densest orbits above the Earth, and that junk may disable or cause other satellites to collide, resulting in even more debris, and the situation spirals out of control in a phenomenon known as the Kessler syndrome. And if we get to that point, space will be too dangerous to enter. Here, we all have to know that these collisions would produce debris clouds that may circle the planet for years, decades, or possibly millennia. To be clear, the possibility of a runaway condition is quite remote. However, the possible consequences are so severe that scientists are working feverishly to prevent such a catastrophe from ever occurring. SpaceX claims that its satellites can maneuver out of their own way to prevent collisions. However, scores of SpaceX satellites have already been deactivated and are unable to move, presenting a hazard. Those opposed to SpaceX's intentions are asking the FCC to rein in the corporation and regulate low Earth orbit more severely. The projected 42,000 satellites might become more costly and difficult to install as a result. It does not, however, end with Starline. To end the topic, Amazon's Kuiper project, OneWeb, Henyang in China, and other initiatives are attempting to compete with SpaceX by launching their own worldwide networks of hundreds or thousands of satellites. If they were all allowed to do anything they wanted with little to no oversight, within the next 10 years, we might have 100,000 satellites around our globe, greatly raising the danger of sealing off space for everyone. What are your thoughts on this issue? Please let us know in the description below. And if you liked today's episode, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.